Good afternoon, I'm Jacinta with 2NURFM Hunter News. A 64-year-old man from Stockton has appeared in Maitland Local Court today after being charged with the murder of a Hunter woman 30 years ago. Rodney Lawrence stands accused of murdering Elizabeth Dixon, who was found in her car in Ashtonfield bushland on April 6, 1982. Her hands were bound and she suffered multiple stab wounds. Solicitor Peter Cleaves informed the court no bail application would be made and Lawrence is set to appear by audio-visual link in Newcastle Local Court on November 4. Senior Constable Sarah Burgess says new details were provided by the public leading to his arrest.
We've had detectives from the Central Hunter Local Area Command who've been investigating the alleged stabbing murder of a 31-year-old Elizabeth Dixon. In August of this year, detectives received some new information which has led them to the arrest of a man at a home in Stockton yesterday, which was Wednesday the 28th of October.
A man accused of murdering Carly Pierce Stevenson has faced Maitland Local Court this morning. 41-year-old Daniel James Holdham made a brief appearance via video link and was formally refused bail to reappear in Sydney's Central Local Court on November 12. Carly's body was found dumped in the Belanglo State Forest 5 years ago. Investigations continue into the murder of her 2-year-old daughter, Candace. Homicide Squad Commander Detective Mick Willing says they'll allege Carly was murdered on the 14th or 15th of December 2008.
She sustained certain injuries to her body, but I cannot go any further into those injuries as the investigations are ongoing. We believe that Candace was murdered at some point after Carly, but we're trying to establish the exact time.
A Fullerton Cove woman's concerns about her unborn child has left her angered at the state government over its handling of the Williamtown RAF base spill. Resident Natasha Joy has revealed the conflicting advice from the government and her doctor when she sought information about breastfeeding whilst living in the contaminated area. The New South Wales government has advised women in the affected area to not stop breastfeeding children, despite the uncertainty of the spill effects.
Well, I would like to be blood tested. I really would like just that peace of mind. I don't think my exposure is very high, but without getting information, it just gets you a little bit more worried. It makes you wonder if something's being hidden.
Another spate of job losses will be hitting Hunter coal workers with the restructure of Myuna mine at Wangi. 30 workers are set to be retrenched from the colliery, with a further 21 receiving a transfer to Mandalong mine at Morisset. Katie Brassel from Centennial Coal says the losses come as a result of the ongoing mining downturn.
Well, Myuna will continue operating as it has done for the past 40 years, for approximately another 20 years, with the current workforce of about 200 to make Myuna sustainable in the longer term and to underpin the over 200 jobs that remain. We've had to make this very tough and difficult decision.
The Hunter Business Chamber has released estimates of the costs involved with council giving staff a public holiday. It's estimated the cost for one day off is around $500,000 to local ratepayers. Council has admitted it will recommend having a local public holiday for next year's show. CEO Kristen Keegan says the figures are to be expected.
I'd very strongly suggest that we are an aspiring metropolitan city and we certainly from the Hunter Business Chamber do not have a problem with the 12 or 13 gazetted public holidays that happen across the state. A local public holiday is a very different matter. A local public holiday merely happens within the local government boundaries.
Sport, thanks to our sponsor, Warners Bay Sports Club's Melbourne Cup Carnival.
Some of Newcastle's best athletes have gathered at the launch of the Hunters Olympic fundraising dinner. The launch will be led by 2016 Rio Olympic Games chef de mission Kitty Chiller. She predicted a top 5 finish for Australia along with 15 gold medals. The dinner will be held next year at West's and is expected to attract up to 500 guests. Newcastle Jets defender Jason Hoffman is keen to get one over his old team on Friday night when the Jets take on Melbourne City. Hoffman was dropped by City last year despite having a year to run on his contract. The Jets are likely to be without Brazilian Leonardo Santiago for the trip south, but will be boosted by the return of Lee Ki-ji. The Newcastle Knights have added 2 New Zealanders to their roster, with former junior Kiwis captain David Barner and Warriors counterpart Sam Cook joining the club for the 2016 season. And Newcastle Speedway racer Jason Doyle has returned home after his heavy crash at the Speedway Grand Prix in Melbourne last weekend. The 30-year-old suffered a fractured vertebra and punctured lung in the fall. 2NURFM news time is 12:10.